Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, we're going to do something we haven't done for a while. We're going to do another Bites and Nibbles with Breck episode today. We're also going to prepare something that we haven't done in a long time. We're going to pull out the old ice cream maker. Today what I want to do, it actually got inspired by yesterday's live stream where one of my regulars asked for an ice cream vlog and said, you ought to really try and do mint chocolate chip. And I was thinking, you know what, now's the time to try that. Mint chocolate chip is like my favorite kind of ice cream in the world, and I usually keep a gallon of Bluebell mint chocolate chip in the freezer just because I love it so much. But I want to see if I can make my own, and I don't specifically have a recipe for it, but I'm going to kind of mess around with other recipes that I've done and see if I can give it a mint chocolate chip, make an acceptable copy of mint chocolate chip. So let's look at our ingredients. Now, before we look at the ingredients, there's kind of a little interesting backstory into the decision-making process of deciding to do this ice cream vlog today. Along with the suggestion to do mint chocolate chip ice cream, a viewer suggested that there was a specific kind of mint extract that I should use. I shouldn't just go and use one of the McCormick or something like that, mint extract, that there was like a really good version from a company called Loran's. And I went looking for that while we were on the live stream yesterday, but accidentally shut down the browser at the end of the live stream and lost the link. And I didn't remember specifically what the name of the company was. So I started Googling it this morning trying to figure it out. And one of the things I found out was that mint extract isn't actually that difficult to make. It takes some time, but it's a fairly simple process. And I thought, you know what, it might be fun to make some of my own mint extract. So there's going to be two parts to this recipe. I'm going to use just regular mint extract that I bought at the store because I couldn't find the Loran's brand. But we're also going to make some of our own mint extract, and well, it's going to be a couple months before we can get that completely finished, but we're going to at least show the process. So let's look at our ingredients. Like I said, I don't really have a specific recipe for this. I've just kind of worked with some of the recipes I have, just kind of borrowed the basic idea, and then we're going to put different flavoring in it. So what we need is some whole milk, some heavy whipping cream, some granulated white sugar, some McCormick brand mint extract, because that's all I could find, and I'm going to go with some Ghirardelli 86% cocoa dark chocolate that we're going to break up and be the chocolate in our mint chocolate chip. And of course we got a little bit of green food color for coloring, so that our ice cream actually has a green tint to it, because we kind of want that. Now, like I said, we're also going to do our mint extract. We're going to make some of it on our own, and basically you start off with some mint leaves, some fresh mint leaves, and you mix it with some vodka, and you keep it in a cool, dry place for a couple of months, and voila, you've got mint extract. So we're going to do that also, but first off, we're going to get going with the ice cream. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my mixer, and we're going to start by mixing together 1.5 cups of whole milk and a little bit over a cup of white granulated sugar. This is about a cup and an eighth. And I'm just going to put it in the mixer on kind of a slow speed, kind of get everything kind of mixed together. We're going to let that go for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to add in our heavy whipping cream. Alright, a couple minutes have gone by. My sugar and whole milk are now pretty well blended. I'm going to throw in 3 cups of heavy whipping cream and about a tablespoon of my mint extract. And we're just going to kind of let that mix together a little bit until it bubbles up just a little bit, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Alright, that's starting to look pretty good. I think we're about done. It actually smells really good right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the beater off, and I'm actually going to take a little taste test and see what it tastes like. And I think this is almost ready to put into the ice cream machine itself. Alright, I did stop the beater for a second and took a little taste test. It tastes alright. So what I'm going to do before we put the mixture into the ice cream maker itself is we're going to add the color, because you want to get it to kind of the right color here. And so I'm not sure how much it's going to take to do that. So We want to get it just right. Don't want it to be too dark or too light. I think we probably go a little more than that. Let's see what that does for us. Get everything mixed in there really good. Do one more here. And we are going to go slower here because I noticed that a lot of the unmixed liquid is getting inside the beater there. I think we're going to go just a little bit more. Doing like one drop at a time here because I don't want to do it too much. I like to have a nice little green tint to it, but not going for that Green Bay Packers green. It's got to be more of a mint green, right? A little bit more, I think. That's 5 drops. I think that's probably about the right color. So that's what we went with for this recipe. I went with about 5 drops. So I think that's pretty good. Next thing to do is let's get it into the ice cream maker. Now, this is the ice cream maker I got about a year or so ago. One of my viewers got it for me. And what it is, it's just a little mixer thing, not much different actually than this thing. But there's a little bowl that goes in it, and the bowl is where all the cold comes from. So for the last year since I've used this thing, that bowl has lived in the freezer, so it's not getting any colder than it currently is. So I'm going to bring that bowl in right away. We're going to get the little agitator thing in there, get our ice cream mixture poured in there, and we're going to start putting it together, starting freezing it up. Alright, so we get the ice cream mixture into the frozen bowl here. I've got the agitator, which is this thing here. This is going to keep everything moving and keeping it from freezing solid. And I've got the lid on here. We turn this thing on here. And now we're going to put up with that for probably another hour or two until this whole thing solidifies up and becomes really good. You'll notice I haven't put the chocolate chips in there because my experience in the past is if you leave the chocolate chips in there during the whole process, or I've found this out with like berries and stuff that I put in there, it kind of breaks it up and mashes it all up. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut the chocolate chips up separate, and we're going to pour those in at the last minute, and then they'll get mixed in a little bit, but they won't get pummeled too much, and it'll remain mint chip ice cream and not mint chip ice cream that's been turned completely brown because we powderized the chocolate. So like I said, I'm going to let this do its thing for an hour or two until it's nice and solid, and then we'll throw in the chocolate later on. Yeah, now one of the things that tends to happen with ice cream when you're making it as it freezes and kind of builds up some of the air inside of it, it expands quite a bit. And so you can see it's starting to come out of here. So this is just about the consistency of ice cream now. Tastes pretty good. And I think we are ready to put our chocolate chips in it. Now what I did is I took the Ghirardelli chocolate chunks that I had, and I actually put it in the freezer to make it hard, so it wasn't partially melted. And then I threw it in the food processor, kind of separated the chunks from the dust that got made, and the chunks now is what's going to go into our ice cream. So I'm going to turn off the machine for a minute. We're going to pull the lid off. We're going to get the chips inside of there, and we're going to let that start mixing all in, and we'll let this run for a few more minutes, and then we'll be able to put it in the freezer and finish this thing off. Alright, there's been another 3 or 4 minutes now of it mixing in with the chocolate chips, and I think we're pretty much done now. Next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the lid off, and we're going to transfer this thing into this little glass ice cream jar I have. I bought this a couple years ago, and I thought, you know what, that's just perfect for ice cream. So it basically holds one whole batch of this, and that's good enough for me, right? So let's get this in the jar, and we'll get this in the freezer, and this should be pretty good to go. So now that we got the chocolate all made up, while I'm waiting for the ice cream to set up and get to the point where it's ready, we're going to try to prepare our own mint extract and see how that comes out. And basically there's only 2 ingredients for it. It's fresh mint leaves and some vodka. And that's not that phony baloney vodka I drink on the live streams. This is the real stuff. Alright, so what I've done so far is I've basically taken out a cup of the leaves of the mint. I've cut off the stems, and so I got just the leaves in there. And I'm going to kind of crunch it up a little bit. It says do that a little bit because that'll help release some of the oils. It said crunch it up in your hands if you want to. So doing that a little bit just to, I guess that kind of releases some of the oils that are inside the leaves. And then I'm going to just take that and I'm going to put this in this little pint canning jar here. And now that I got the mint leaves into the little canning jar, I'm just going to basically top it off with some vodka here. Fill the whole thing up. This better be good, right? They say you can use cheap vodka, but I'm not using cheap vodka at the moment. That's supposedly the good stuff. So now we're just going to put the lid on this. We're going to shake it up a little bit, and we're going to put it in a cool, dry place for the next about 2 months. So you're going to have to check in with me sometime in mid-March to see how this turns out. But right now we're going to put the lid on it and shake it up good, and we're ready to go. And there's my mint extract all ready to go. What I'm going to do is, like I said, put it in a cool, dry place. And I think the best cool, dry place is going to be someplace out in the garage. And I'm thinking I'm going to put it in the storm shelter because that'll keep in the probably 50s to 60s for the next couple of months. And it's relatively dark inside the storm shelter. So that should be an ideal place for this to sit. And check in with me in about March 27 and we'll see how this comes out. See you then. So there's the final product. I'm going to throw this in the freezer for a little while, and we're probably not going to give it a taste test tomorrow or today, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to prepare something else for dinner tomorrow night, and we'll have that in the ice cream, and then we'll do the taste test on both of these, because this takes a little bit of time. It needs to set up now in the freezer in order to get the true ice cream consistency. It's kind of soft serve ice cream kind of consistency right now, but I give it overnight in the freezer, and this will be real good ice cream by tomorrow. So check in next time on the video, and we're going to do another cooking vlog next time, and we'll give this the taste test at that time. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.